You may have read some of her work on Reductress or seen her on Above Average, and we are thrilled to have her back. Please give it up for Jiji Lee.
When I was growing up, my parents always told me that I had to marry someone Korean. They're like, you have to marry someone Korean. Which I respected, but then I was like, why did we immigrate to Miami, Florida? Also, we were like working class Koreans living in Miami. Like, we didn't have to preserve the dynastic line. But as I got older and I was approaching my 30s and still single, my parents kind of loosened their restrictions, and they were relieved when I met Patrick, my very nice, very white boyfriend. And when they got to know him, they ended up liking him more than me. And so when we got engaged, I was very excited, but I went from being really nervous about my parents meeting Patrick to being very nervous about Patrick's family meeting my family, particularly my mother. It's not that my mom has anger issues. She just likes to fight with people in public all the time. Growing up, going to restaurants with her was very stressful because she loved to pick fights with waiters, especially if they didn't bring the food over in time, which to her meant they didn't bring the food as soon as she ordered it. One time she got in a fight at a restaurant buffet, a place where you serve the food yourself. She still found some issues. So I was very nervous, especially because compared to my family, Patrick's family seemed like the Rockefellers. Like, they had civilized conversation. They went to museums. They read The New Yorker. They would never go to a Foot Locker and, like, start throwing sneakers on the floor because they didn't like their return policy. So my plan was that our two families would not meet until our wedding, because I thought, oh, by then it's too late. So it's finally the weekend of our wedding. We're in Maryland, where Patrick's family lives, and my family flies in from Miami. And I'm nervous, but I have other things to worry about, like trying to fit into my vintage dress from Etsy. I subsisted on dandelion greens for months. And so my parents arrive, and Patrick's sister suggests that all the women should go out and get manicures before the rehearsal dinner. And I was like, okay, nail salon, they don't serve food. Great. So we go to a nail salon. It's me, my mom, Patrick's sister, his mom. And my mom is just so excited, and she doesn't speak English very well, so she just doesn't know how to express herself. So she just like this. I'm like, Mom, calm down. And then we go to our individual nail stations. So I'm here, my mom's here, Patrick's mom and his sister are like all the way at the end of the line. And I'm like, we're too far to talk to each other, so this is ideal. And my mom's manicurist comes over, and my mom, for some reason, makes a face. And I know that face, because my entire life I have feared that face. But I'm just gonna like relax, because maybe my mom is like softened a bit with age. Also, I'm just gonna like be zen. I'm like a chill bride, okay? A few moments pass, and I hear some commotion. I look over, and my mom is now glaring at her manicurist. And I'm like, Mom, what happened? And my mom tells me in Korean that the manicurist asked my mom to pay up front. And my mom, who's never been to a nail salon before, thought that the woman was judging her and thought she couldn't afford a manicure and wanted to see a payment. And I'm trying to explain, like, no, you have to pay first, because then you would ruin your base coat. And my mom's telling this woman, like, that's wrong, what you're doing is wrong. I'm like, no, the base coat. And like she's yelling at her, and meanwhile, like, I don't want like Patrick's mom and his sister to like see what's going on. And my mom turns to me and she says, in English, I'm only staying here because of you. So the one time that my mom has immaculate English is to like insult me. And like between that and like the fact that I've literally been eating weeds for months, I just like break down and I yank my mom. I'm like, we are leaving. And Patrick's mom is like, where are you guys going? And I'm like, oh, it's okay. I don't need a manicure. It's like, it's just my wedding. We need to leave now. So we go outside, and now my mom is refusing to get into this cab that I hailed for us. I'm like, please go in the cab. She's no, please, Mom, go in the cab. No. And then I just start cursing, like, get in the fucking cab. And I'm like yelling at this like little old Asian lady, and I'm sure to like all the bystanders, they think I'm committing elder abuse. So she finally gets in the cab, and we ride to the hotel in silence. When I see Patrick, I tell him, I think we should cancel the rehearsal dinner. I can't deal with this right now. And Patrick says, I know you're really upset, but people paid a lot of money for this, so I'm gonna need you to get it together. So I get it together, I have a turkey sandwich, it's great. Someone really likes turkey. So we go to the rehearsal dinner, and it's hosted at Patrick's family's relative's house. And my mom is there, and she's smiling, she's laughing, she's like the belle of the ball. She's acting like nothing happened. I'm like, whatever. I start drinking, and people start giving toasts, and like they're really nice and like meaningful and heartfelt. And my mom starts to cry, and my mom never cries. And I go up to my mom, I'm like, Mom, what happened? Did a waiter look at you wrong? And she tells me that, now that you're marrying Patrick, you're not my daughter anymore. You're gonna be part of his family. And I felt so bad because this entire time I was so scared that, like, how Patrick's family would like judge her. And of course I ended up judging her the most because she's bonkers. But she did come to this country at 25, didn't speak the language, didn't know anyone, raised 3 kids who never thanked her and complained all the time about how they wanted American food. Maybe she didn't have anger issues. I think she's just tired from busting her ass. But of course I don't say this to her. I just kind of hug her and like get us more Prosecco. During the wedding, it was very beautiful. There was no drama. And then after the wedding, Patrick and I went on our honeymoon to Antigua. And one day we're on the beach, and I buy this hat from a street vendor, but the hat is damaged. And I asked for a refund, but the street vendor won't give me a refund. I'm like, it's damaged, I want a refund. And she won't give me the refund. And Patrick's like, Gigi, please, it's our honeymoon. And I can't help it. I am my mother's daughter. Yeah.
Yum's the word.